First of all, I would like to introduce myself. So, my name is Radhima, and I'm running an EdTech, and I'm into one-to-one personalized training where we guide students across the globe. It's like a different learning center for students across the world where we provide personalized training, as I mentioned before. And yes, I think it's time to start, and I want all my co-panelists to introduce themselves because I think they will be able to do justification. Yeah, please, I would like to start with Gan.
Hello everyone, I'm Gan from Bangkok, Thailand. I am a founder of FanI, Thailand, Future Education International. I started being in education industry 18 years ago, and I started my own company that drive the future education that bring personalized learning and entrepreneurship together, which means we have the youngest entrepreneur at 7 years old. So yeah, well, it's lovely to share the moment with everyone. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and Assalamu alaikum. My name is Iram Farhat Farooq, and I am the founder of EduEnhance. EduEnhance is an education services company based out of Dubai, and we serve educators across the region in the Middle East, Africa, Turkey, and Pakistan. And we are proud to be representatives of cutting-edge publishers from the US and UK, and we offer programs to students in K-12 sector and also teacher training programs. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Eitan, and I'm the head of sales and partnership in a company called Singit. I come from a background of education, K-12, over 15 years, and in the last 7 years, been in the EdTech world, bringing the innovation into the education, specifically with our company Singit, helping and supporting students around the world to learn other languages, specifically now focused on English, through music. So we're really excited of getting the new generation of worldwide global students to be able to engage and have better opportunity. And very excited to be here with our panel.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Vishal Joshi. I'm the founder of AdLogica. AdLogica is international education and EdTech company. We have different clienteles, students, schools and universities, study abroad recruiters, agents, government organizations as well. We have various solutions for each our clientele, and we use of technology, and most of the solutions are tech driven and data driven. We provide psychometric testing for students with really advanced systems. We provide institutional collaborations between universities, colleges, and we have EdTech solutions for study abroad partners where they can make international applications. So we have a lot of different verticals, and I'm really excited here to be with the panel and then discussing on the topic and share my understanding on the subject. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, each one of you. I'm blessed to sharing, stage with all of you. All right, now. So my first question is for you, Iram. All right. So how do you see EdTech reshaping learning for the next generation, especially in the early years where foundation skills and mindsets are formed? Yeah.
Thank you, Radhima. Very powerful question. So, in the introduction, I forgot to mention that I'm a teacher by profession and a lifelong learner. And I completely believe in the fact that the learning and the foundations are set right from the start. So early childhood education is something that we are passionate about at EduEnhance. And once, a long time ago, when I started my learning center, that was maybe 15 odd years ago or so, there was a quote that I read, and that was something that I plastered on the wall of the lobby that we had, and it said, "Do not confine your children to your own learning, for they were born in another time." So that really resonated with me because we were entering the EdTech revolution. I'm talking early 2000s. And technology was there in the classrooms and everywhere you went, but you weren't sure when to start. And today, when the AI influx is there and everybody is talking about AI and technology, it's a very interesting question, when do we start? So a recent study that I was looking at, there was a global report by UNESCO and UNICEF. It said that 75% of the families reported that children are using some form of touchscreen technology in early childhood. It also said that 90% of the nurseries and preschools are using some form of technology in the classroom. Now, these are very high numbers. And at the same time, it said that over 2 hours of exposure to the screen for young learners could show up in poorer receptive and expressive language and comprehension skills. Now, what does that tell us? That tells us that technology is there, it has arrived, and it has penetrated in all walks of life. But how much of technology is the right amount? Because it could be detrimental if you overdo it, for example. So therefore, technology is very much a big part of early childhood. However, a balance is what we need to achieve. Secondly, technology doesn't necessarily mean in early childhood that you're looking at devices and how kids are using coding, etc. It could be skills like critical thinking that you are enabling them to learn, skills like collaboration, pattern recognition, logic, vocabulary. All these are fundamentals for learning technology and becoming comfortable with technology at a later stage. So that is pretty much my take on technology in early childhood.
Perfect answer. I really liked it.
If I can add something,
sure,
I can literally relate to what Iram said. This is the biggest issue with parents with young kids. Too much access of screen and use of technology is there. How we can utilize at the same time, we need technology. How to reduce it in some extent. So very valid thing to kind of be mindful.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Vishal, for your answer. Now, I want Eden to answer the same question because you're also dealing with primary, middle school students where you are teaching them English with maths, with music, right? So, yeah, I want you to answer this question.
Yes, thank you. I want to continue Arum's line of thought, but take it to a different direction. So you see, 100 years ago, education to 50 years ago hasn't changed much. From 150 years, so the teachers were teaching quite similar. There was a bit of changes, but wasn't drastic. But 50 years ago to now is a crazy change. And a lot of teachers that I've met in education, we're still trying to hold on to that old education, just the books, just the old methods, just the classes that are set up in the normal classes. Not realizing that this is a whole new generation. They learn differently. They're quicker. You mentioned kids that from young age, my 3-year-old is on the phone and knows exactly what to press. We didn't have screens like that. We didn't even know that it could exist. So we have to change the way we educate. We have to prepare this new generation to the life they're going to have in 30 years, in 20 years, which we can't even imagine what it would exist. So when we talk about where's tech and EdTech will bring education, we have to put it on the front of our mind. In one hand, we cannot let go the books and the reading and the writing. This is very important to make sure that they, first of all, keep the fundamentals, making sure that they're not always in front of screens, in front of tech, but we have to bring tech into their learning from very young and to every aspect of learning, because we want to set them for success. Anyone that will be leaving it aside will fall behind the world. The AI, everything has to be the top of our mind.
Amazing. Correct. I agree to you on that. Now, I have another question for Gun, but before that, I would really like to appreciate what you you are doing for young generation, especially that 13-year-old, student you were talking about who's an influencer right now and 6.8 million subscribers. Amazing. Kudos to you and your team. I heard you, I think, day before yesterday, right? Amazing. So, Kan, related to that, I have a question for you. That how is EdTech, including emerging tools and interactive platforms, helping to engage and motivate today's learners, especially Gen Alpha, who expect highly personalized and dynamic learning experiences? So how are you dealing with these kind of students?
Okay, sure. Thank you. And also just to relate it with what Ethan said, like we are trying to push the technology away sometimes because what we worried is about discipline, right? So we are focused on the wrong thing, right? If we worried about discipline, then we focus on discipline, not just take the technology away, because that you will make the students go far behind other students who allow to use the technology. And yeah, with what you just mentioned, we work a lot with the Gen Alpha, but before I define or label as the generations, just talking about kids in general, like how they learn, right? They just love learning in a fun environment, and it's happened in all generations, not just kids. When we were young, we also like to learn with the fun teachers, fun classroom, but the different things nowadays, it's just the world changed, right? The fun at the last time and the fun at the moment is different, right? They're born with the technology. They just press. When we were just using, in Thailand, when I was young, we using one computer with 3 students. I'm not sure if you have the same. Yeah, when it's first introduced, we are first introduced to the computer. We sit 3 people in one computer.
Same here, in India also.
And we share that moment together. But now everyone have device. They're born with iPad. They're born with their iPhone. So we cannot stop them just to use the technology. So get back to like Gen Alpha. Yes, definitely they love the fun things and they like to learn fast and they like to be acknowledged fast as well because they play games, right? They collect points and go upgrade and go to another rank. So the educations and the learning in the class should be able to respond to their behaviors, to their progress and their result fast as well because they just want the feedback now, right? Am I good enough? Yeah, can I just go to the next level already? Because they play one game, one day they might get up to like 20 levels. So they want things to happen the same. That's why we have the 13 years old that achieved in her YouTuber channel and her business because they could be very focused on what they love. But sometimes we just don't spend time enough to understand them. So to me, to help the Gen Alpha learn best together with the technology, we need a hybrid, which is we use the tools to really bring the personalized learning into the classroom, help the teacher with the tracking individually, what is their progress and what need to be fixed, and also be a tools of the teacher to be as fast as the students. Otherwise, we are also far behind the students. So that's basically my input. Thank you.
I love what you said there because the main challenge that I found in classes when I was teaching, and any teacher I speak to, the main challenge is engagement. Kids used to be able to sit and be bored and draw on the misted window. These days, everything's quick. They want everything now, quickly. And if we ignore that, like we said before, if we just, no, let's go back to the old way we were teaching, we're going to lose them. And you find teachers 50% of the time do class management because the classes, they're quick. They just want a quick interaction. So bringing that tech and bringing what they love. In our case, we're bringing music, which is universal and I would say even over generations, right? That's on. So bringing music into the classroom and say, we're the cool teachers, but in a good way. We're not just giving up on what's important, but we're using what you like. We're using what you're passionate about and bringing it into your class, into your learning. And we have an amazing percentage of students that are taking their learning outside the classroom. They start wanting to learn themselves. So I love what you said. It's about making sure that we are keeping up with them. Because if we don't, they're going to start teaching us.
Yes, true.
But balancing should be the key, I believe. Okay, Vishal, I want to ask you the same question.
Right, yeah. So EdTech is, since EdTech has come in, it's already EdTech is there, a lot of tools are there. And what it is doing to the education system is what I personally feel. Up to now or before technology came in, it was more passive education. It was one-sided. And now it's becoming more interactive, with EdTech tools. And tools are becoming more and more advanced. So with AI coming in, it's more adaptive as well. It can quickly gauge students, interest and abilities, and accordingly can tweak the, their assessment system, and keep students engaged. So there is more, behavior engagement due to EdTech. I can see at the same time more cognitive engagement, because systems are able to kind of define where they are, and subject-specific tools are there which always keep them engaged. So EdTech is surely making education more interesting for kids, and it's just keep improving. It's I feel there'll be more and more tools in the near future. It's just how quickly we can adopt, and how we incorporate in our systems, in our education system. That would be something to be seen. Yeah.
Absolutely. Even in Upskill with Ritsi, we also follow this thing. I tell my teachers to show videos if possible, because audio-visual plays a very important role. They learn easily. When you see something, when you watch something, it makes a huge difference. Yeah. Plus, there are a lot of websites like Kahoot is used, very, very engaging quiz kind of thing. You just have to select a topic, age, grade, and you will get a lot of questions, and they love these kind of quizzes. It's like fun learning. They learn it. They are able, so we assess them using Kahoot. So very good way to assess. They don't feel like they have an exam. They just enjoy that quiz.
So gamification of teaching. That is I think one of the key thing for kids. They're loving it, as you rightly said. Yeah, and I think we'll need more tools like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot more, but Kahoot is very widely used in my company as well, and students, they love it. Okay, thank you. Now, Aram, I have a question for you. Please take the mic. Thank you. So this is one of my favorite questions, because teacher development, I don't know why, I really feel it's always ignored, always ignored, especially in EdTech, this kind of era where we talk about EdTech and all. So in school, still, I have seen this thing, management, they have started with some teacher training program, but in EdTech, there's nothing like that, okay? So you tell me, how is technology and AI transforming teacher training globally, and especially in the region? How can we do that,
Ridhima, thank you for asking me this question, because all of us are educators here, and I believe that unfortunately it is true that as educators, as teachers, you're expected to know it all. However, the times are changing. We are now dealing with digital natives. These kids, the way all of us are in agreement that the way they are using technology, we could not even have imagined. However, now we are on the other side of the classroom, where we are supposed to be teaching these digital natives how to use technology. So who's helping the teachers? And from our perspective at EduEnhance, since we had been working with students with K-12 solutions for children, we felt that there is a huge need to give the teachers that support or the hand-holding that they need to also come up to speed with technology and with AI. Again, all our work is based on research, and we ensure that whatever we are bringing to the region is going to help our students, our demographic, and our teachers. So we read up on some research, and we realized that back in 2002, there's a research by Joyce and Showers, and they said that if you have teachers take on a workshop, for example, we all do that, we have workshops in our schools. You take that workshop, the teachers learn, they listen, they go back into the classroom, and they'll implement a couple of ideas here and there. At the end of the day, you're looking at learning outcomes. Whatever the teacher has learned, how has that impacted learning outcomes in the classroom? It says it only showed 5% improvement in learning outcomes. So what else do you do? The next step is for teachers to get into the practice mode, look at the theory, see some modeling by experts. So there's a whole journey for teachers as well, not just a one-off event that will help them improve their teaching skills. Now with technology, it is actually possible for teachers to have personalized learning as well. And that is precisely what we were seeking for our educators here in the region. That yes, we have solutions for children for personalized learning. What about the teachers? How do we get them up to speed with technology and what's out there? So we partnered with a company called Iris Connect from the UK. And they have a solution where it's all about self-reflection for the teachers. It's about recording themselves, uploading their recording on the platform, and then AI giving them some feedback based on best practices. We have brought in, because we localize solutions as well, so we've taken in the UAE inspection framework, and we have given the rubric to AI to give some feedback based on what's needed for the teachers here in the UAE. So all of that technology makes it possible to now offer a full journey for teachers and ensuring that this kind of a journey will result in learning outcomes that are improved by 70% for the students if they go through the full coaching journey using technology while they are learning and so on. So I think we are in a great place right now because we are going to see that revolution. We are actually experiencing AI for every individual, be it the student, be it the teacher, be it the leadership. Leadership needs to get trained up as well, right? They need to understand compliance issues, for example. You're bringing in AI in the school. What about compliance strategies? How do I cater to that? So it's a learning curve for everyone. But the good news is that everyone is on it. We are excited about it. And yeah, teachers are our focal point of interest as well.
Amazing. I think you're doing very good for your teachers. That AI thing, I really liked that. Okay. I want to share one example. So recently I was hiring for a chemistry tutor in India. And see, I feel if you are teaching in school, they are not well equipped with technology, right? So I got a lead from someone. The teacher was very knowledgeable. She's still working as an assistant professor in Belgaum. It's a small city in Karnataka. Very good, very knowledgeable assistant professor. But she wants to earn more than her potential. But when it comes to technology, honestly speaking, she had no idea how to switch on the camera. Forget about getting into Google Meet link and using concept board. Concept board is like a whiteboard, you know, how we use it in school. So we have a whiteboard online also where you can write and you can collaborate with the child. You can write down, add text, you can use freehand tool, you can add pictures. So we use that extensively in our classrooms setup. So that's what I'm doing from my end. Just I wanted to add it. So I took her training. I said, okay, you come. I will tell you how to do that, how to start a computer. And honestly, she's blessed. Her husband helped her a lot in that. Then she understood that. But it doesn't mean that she is not a good teacher. You know, she is a good teacher, but she didn't get an opportunity to, you know, explore this technology, you know, this world. We are blessed we got it, but maybe should not. Even before COVID, nobody, I mean, in India, like no one even thought of doing virtual classes, right? That's traditional teaching, traditional, you know, things were taking place. So then somehow I said, okay, now you're one step ahead. It took me 2-3 days. And few more things like how to send feedback after every class. She doesn't know. Her typing, no mistakes, and being an editor, sorry, let me tell you. So basically 9 editions of my book, I mean, already out in the market. And that is computer based, like I'm from Jammu, so JK based curriculum. So that book I worked not as an author, but as an editor also. I have this habit, and my husband is always pissed off me because you're a teacher plus editor. You have this habit of taking out flaws and all this kind of thing. So I'm very fussy with that. You please write it down nicely. So this is all what technology, I'm trying to incorporate. You have to, because it gives a very professional look if you write neatly, well managed, organized. So then she understood, okay, this is how Google Meet works. You have to, get into the board, then the student comes, and then this is how you write, this is how you make it colorful, especially for middle school students, because they love color, as you said, some audio visual, something exciting, not that rote learning, not that traditional way of teaching. This way, when I'm trying, and I would love to take lessons from you, but this is how we are also training
my pleasure,
teachers.
Ridhima, because at the end of the day, these are skills, right?
Absolutely.
So having subject knowledge is one thing, but then having skills with technology is another. So I'd be happy to help in any way I can.
And why not? If they have potential, why not? They are capable enough. It's just that they didn't get that opportunity, right? So I'm trying, and she's from a B-tier city. I feel happy. It's not about just empowering women. I have males also in my, team, and I feel happy if I can give them that opportunity. Okay. Nothing like that. And I love training them, and I feel happy also that yes, I'm able to make some impact in their lives as well. Thank you. Okay, so next question is for Vishal. It is related to career guidance and counseling. Before I ask you a question, this question is also very relatable to me, and I'm facing a lot of issues right now. I have a lot of IBDP students, across the globe. I have a lot of students from Japan. Most of them are Indians, but I have students from other nationalities also, like Tanzanians, Japanese, Bangladeshis, Turkish, and other communities as well. Based in Bangkok also I have students, and Netherlands and all. So they are in IBDP, and in 11th and 12th in the IBDP program, they have two courses, AA and AI. AI is application and interpretation, where it's more like practical work. Best if you want to get into medicines, humanities, and other courses, all right? And business also, sorry. And we have AA. AA is analysis and approaches, which is best for your engineering because it's theory STEM, right? Okay. And in that, they have two more classifications, SL and HL. Okay, sorry, getting very personal. HL and SL means high level, and SL means standard level. So ultimately, we have 4 courses: AA, HL, AASL, AI, HL, AISL. Now, it all depends on the course, what exactly will they get in future, like the university and all. So for example, now this is what I liked about your psychometric test that you just mentioned. A few students, they are clueless what exactly they want to do in their lives, right? They don't know. I mean, recently I met you on the first day of the conference, and after this I had a class with that student. He's also Gujarati but based in Netherlands. So I asked him, Riyansh, what do you want? What do you want to become? Teacher? I don't know. I said, how? I mean, you're in grade 9. You are smart enough. I think you should know what do you want to become. So he was clueless, right? And at times, there are few students in Japan. When I asked them once, they were like, one of my students, he was like, ma'am, I want to be like my dad. I want to be in sales. But then they literally, they need some kind of guidance, like which course they should take. Absolutely. What are the career path choices they can get into, which university? Because HL, they, like top-notch universities, they look for HL kids. Based on which branch do you want, and few of them they're okay with SL also. So I think your psychometric test can really help them. So my question is that how can this EdTech they transform career guidance and counseling for K-12 students?
Right. So scenario you gave, that's the usual scenario currently with many students across the globe. they choose career based on, someone's suggestion or some sort of
Parents
reference.
especially.
Yes, parents first and foremost, and then secondly, they look, my cousin did this or someone else did this.
Classmates also. My friend wants to be this. I also want to.
Want to do this, yeah. So, and then it was like very like this, very much reference based, and that's where psychometric testing comes in, and we make this whole thing scientific. That rather than you just follow someone, it's better that individual gets to know him or herself first, and that's what psychometric testing does. It defines the what are the natural ability of a student is, their interest areas, learning patterns they like. And accordingly, it can give you possible career, paths they can opt for. And this should be done, frankly, earlier in the schooling time, around, I would say, grade 8, grade 9 level. Considering afterwards they'll be choosing the main subjects, like you said, for IB, who it's AI and AA, and in all different system patterns are very much similar. Either they choose something where they can go for STEM courses, or they can go for humanities, or they can go for commerce, business related subjects. So before they choose that, I think they should get this testing done and should know themselves more better, and then they can make more informed decision, and then that's where EdTech also. So this is psychometric testing is psychological thing, and which is there. What we doing is we make it using technology in that, and then executing that with use of a lot of tech and a lot of data as well. So that way, the students can, have a clear idea what they can choose, so in terms of choosing afterwards, they can go on the next path, where we have that thing in our portal as well, that after choosing the path they can explore universities, colleges, courses. So a lot of advanced tools we have within our system, and then there are career library as well, where they can look at a lot of different career paths on our portal, and we have incorporated counselors, school counselors, teachers, even parents dashboard within the system, where everyone is aligned, everyone knows what's happening, what students' ability is. So counselors, school counselors can guide them, from that reference point on, and then parents can also, kind of see that where their kids are naturally inclined towards, and accordingly, support them. So psychometric testing is surely, it's this very key part of career counseling. So overall, career counseling is changing with use of psychometric testing, and with that tech, with the systems in place, with a lot of data there, which they can, refer to. And overall, our idea is to make it an exploration journey rather than just one-off thing, So early on, they do the testing, they can do another testing, because they also develop their, abilities. And at the same time, they can keep engaged on our platform, where they can learn about different career aspects, different career paths they can opt for, what's changing, what other jobs are coming up. We use vast data from USA as well, around the career paths and all that. So they'll have access to a lot of data. So it'll be a journey for them, which can start as early as year 8, year 9, and they can, they decide what they want to study. They can be on the platform. So I think it's very important tool, not just because it's our product, and even there can be some other products like that. But it's very important tool for their career, for their, what they want to do and achieve in their life, and want to stay happy. Because in the end, if they're doing something which they like, which they're naturally good at, I think they'll have a less stressful life. That's what I feel.
So how frequently they should get this test done? Any time period for that?
A couple of times during their school time, I would say year 8, 9, and then once again maybe before grade 11.
Because in IB, what I've observed, after grade 8, they are asked to choose to, not asked, they start, bifurcating students, like extended and normal maths, as I said. So based on that, then they get into HL. So they prepare the students in grade 9th and 10th, and they show you what HL is. It's going to be very hard for you. So grade 8th, I believe, is the right time.
Yes,
I would love
yes.
to suggest your company for that.
Yes.
And can we also go for this test?
Yes. It's for actually everyone. And then you'll be surprised, that it can come that your natural ability were to become a physics scientist or something.
It's never
I'm
too
happy.
late. Never too late.
I'm happy to be a tutor that's all. I'm happy in that. So, thank you so much. It was very insightful. Indeed. Now, Gan, coming back to you. So, AI. The whole conference was about AI. So let me introduce AI again. So AI is transforming how students, learn from adaptive pathways and to real-time feedback. So what opportunities does this create for deeper, personalized learning, and what challenges should schools, prepare for?
Okay, so I founded the school, which is the micro school model, that actually we love the AI to make it become more personalized. So what I would say is that sometimes people think when there is a technology, there is no more teacher. It's to me, the technology is not a replacement, but it's help to
support
improve.
to
Yes,
teachers.
supposed
Absolutely.
to. Yes. So the school challenge is sometimes they don't prepare the mindset of the teacher very well when these tools and the technology coming in, because sometimes there will be a teacher who really say, okay, I can do it. I don't need to rely on technology. Or there will be a teacher who just like, okay, there is a tools, then let the tools work as well. So we are playing in the role of using the technology as a tool so that we could be a better teacher in this 21st century, right? So I think what the school founder or the principal of the school need to prepare is to prepare the way the teacher think toward the technologies. Regarding AI, so we use AI in different perspectives. AI first is to track individual learning because it can keep track. And second one, AI could help accompany the students when they are not with the teacher, right? So they can have real-time mentor, because we cannot define the time when they want to learn. You see, because to me, in the future, the classroom need to be dynamic, and it eventually should be invisible. When I said invisible, it means the student should want to learn anywhere, not just in the classroom. So then if we have these AI tools, then it can tag along with the students, so then they can have mentor and coach on the time. And on the notes for the teachers, we have less, we spend less time on the paperwork. Then we can use this tool to be more creative, more innovative. But the intention need to be there. Intention to improve the way you teach, intention to improve the way you coach. So that's why the most important part is to set the mindset of the teacher and educator right when you need to work with the technology. Yes, I think you want to add on something.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I want.
He was waiting eagerly.
Yeah, definitely. So what you said is amazing, because going back to my point before, is that AI is part of the new way that the world is going to be. It creates new type of work and jobs, and so we can't educate our kids like we used to. If it used to be learn the material and spit it out back, memory. That's not there anymore. Today, like, we have a question, we go straight to AI. The students know that. They can, my kids call, hey Google, and it comes up, they ask questions. So the teaching is not the same. We can't say, okay, I want you to learn the history, the dates. It's important to make sure that they are curious and they want to learn and develop their knowledge. But we have to know as educators that the way they learning is different and their access to information is quicker. So if just to give an example, if it used to be that you did math on the paper and then a calculator came, and I remember...
Don't talk about calculator. All my students are dependent on calculator. Even if I tell them to multiply 2 by 2, oh ma'am, just a second, I want to use
Correct.
calculator. Seriously.
And that's okay.
And I feel so bad because The first time I used calculator was when I was in my post-graduation. There was a topic, operation research, I still remember. There you have to deal with very small numbers or very big numbers. There it was allowed.
Correct.
And right now, I mean, for just small calculations, miss, just a second, I need to use my scientific calculator. I said, that's too bad. And I keep on telling them that for non-calculator paper, you need to prepare yourself, because they are using it so much. For few topics, I understand it is not possible to do it without calculator. But for basic addition, subtraction, you can do it.
Right.
And that's why they don't use their brain, And I really feel bad about it. I'm so sorry I stopped you. But
it's
I really
true.
wanted to add this thing.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I would say that this is, what you're saying is exactly the set of mind that I have as well, but I have to fight it because we're so adamant to make sure that they still use their brain for calculation when they can do it. And I'm sitting with my youngest kids and I'm saying, forget the calculation, just see how you can do it with your head, because you can do it. But we need to realize that it's there. So I remember, when we were able to only get the calculator later on in big numbers and big tests, but the teachers had to eventually give up and say, okay, you have a calculator, at least I want to see the process on the paper. So we moved. So similar now, right? So now AI comes around and the teacher's like, I will check if your paper is done by
Just
AI.
if your markings, your working, it needs to be there.
There's
right?
tools that came out to check the work of students to see if they made it right. But very quickly, teachers, good teachers, realize there's no point. Rather than checking if AI did the work, I want to check how they prompted the AI, the way they think, because you know what? That's going to shape how they're going to use AI in the future. We have to take away our fears and make sure that we don't put our fears and our background on the new students. We need to realize that if we want to prepare them, to the next generation, you talk about developers, right? It's a good example. It's codes. You can ask AI to give you code. There's a different way to now prompt the AI to give you and how to check it and how to prepare them for the new age jobs. So that's an aspect of how we as educators need to use AI in a smart way. As you said, AI is just going to help us educators free us time, because AI is ready there to give us curriculum ready, prepared, give us indication of where our students are. If it used to be that you have to check and mark papers, these days right away tells you how they did last exam, how they did this exam, what's the, how much they're using the technology. And another thing you said was amazing is that the school expands. It's not only in class, because you can send them home and they're using the AI to continue the classroom. So as long as you can have a visual of what they're doing, they're learning all the time learning and being more curious. We want to create curiosity and the knowledge that they're going to
use it to solve questions also. I have literally, I've seen this thing.
Exactly. So really,
I give them a question, ma'am, just a second. I'm solving this question. And I asking, how did you solve it? I don't know, ma'am. I used ChatGPT. They have to admit it because they know that is not possible. See, you cannot rely on AI all the time because we feed data to AI, right? And randomly they are solving without even knowing the formulas. If I ask the child, which formula did you use? I forgot the name of the formula. I said, but at least you can show me the working. Because see, in schools, right, you have to follow a marking scheme no matter what, right? That means you have to study and you cannot rely on AI all the time.
No, I agree. I think this is what we're mentioning here. What you can see is the balance that we have to create.
Absolutely.
Because we cannot ignore it.
Too much reliance is bad, I agree.
One day there's always this imaginary situation where everything crashes. No AI. And then you'll see who actually, learned and understood. But it's important to get our kids to be curious. And when they get the answer, and if we prompt them with the right questions, they'll feel like, but I want to understand how they got to that. So it's definitely the balance that we have to keep.
Technology also, not just AI, technology as well. So recently I was teaching one of my students, you must have done binomial distribution, it's like probability thing. So I started teaching the child the formula and all, and he was like, ma'am, what are you doing? I said, I'm teaching you the formula so that you can plug in the values and find the answer. Ma'am, I have this in my scientific calculator. So I said, what are they teaching you? Are they teaching you how to use calculator? Which I I'm not liking it, to be very honest. I mean, yeah, again, balance should be there. At least for easy questions, calculator should not be allowed. All right, Ethan, thank you for your contribution to the question. Now I have last question for all of you, but I would like to start with Iram. So I can see you're very, you're an expert in this field. So based on your perspective and your expertise, what innovations or shifts, should schools seek and expect in like 2026 as EdTech evolves?
Thank you, Ridhima. And honestly, not an expert, always learning new things like we all are.
And should be we are
lifelong learners.
Lifelong learners.
And what you are mentioning as a teacher, this is a reality that for us to pivot from the way that we have learned,
I feel they're blessed. I'm jealous of them. I said, you guys are blessed. What are you doing? Not even, and they get formula booklet also. I
Yeah.
just want to mention, we used to cram formulas,
But
A
having
plus
said
B,
that,
C plus D.
Ridhima, the thing is we have to have an open mind. We'll have to also adjust to the new
It's not about
developments.
technology. They are learning. They have the formula. Just have to put it, and they're using calculator for that.
Sure.
Which I don't like. Yeah,
Sure,
otherwise
no,
it's fine.
absolutely. You're the math teacher, I won't argue. But having
I
said
really
that,
want them to use their brain. It's
Sure.
as simple as that.
excellent, excellent. But to your question, Ridhima, I think AI is, of course, something that we are all looking out for. But from my perspective, AI is there to increase efficiency and personalization of the whole learning experience. It is not there to replace the teacher. It is not there to replace the knowledge. It is there to enhance the knowledge, to empower the teachers and the students. But you must know the process. You must remain curious. You must know how to use the
Use it in a right
technology.
way also.
Exactly. Harness it in a way that benefits you
students also.
and meets your objectives as well. But I think my parting note would be that AI will change education, but it is the educators who will change the world. So hang in there. You have a huge
Absolutely.
task ahead of you, but we are on it and we are all in it together.
Okay, what is your take on this, Vishal? What do you think?
Tech and technologies is there, and then it's just how we adopt it, and then there has to be balance as well. But at the same time, yeah, there should be adoption. I still see a bit of resistance in certain things, among schools and colleges. But yeah, we just need to find the right tool for the purpose we want to achieve objectives, and then apply, and then assist. Help our students. So yeah, that's it really.
Perfect. Aitan, what about you?
So I'll finish up today's discussion. For me, is bring it back to what we are passionate about and what we do. Is that technology is out there, and AI is out there, and a lot of things are going to change in education. We need a focus in the areas where we're not going to see so much change. So, for example, students' creativity, students' techniques, students having the different passions to different areas. And in our specific area is making them global students. So if it's through getting communication, to be able to do this, we have to have global communication. So we're focused on an area using AI, using technologies to bring in language into students of the new generation, using what they love, using if they love the technology part of it, if they love the music part of it, but we want to connect everyone. So thank you so much from my side
very
in terms
innovative.
of connecting worldwide here. So this is great.
Okay, so in addition to this, I want to end up with you, Gan. So which tools or models or mindsets will make the biggest impact on K-12 learning?
I think freedom, right? So everybody love to have a freedoms, and then we should be able to give the freedom of learning. So that's why the role of the teachers should be changed to be a coach and facilitator. Get back to what you guys discussed regarding the mathematics as well. So just now when we were talking about that, and then we worried whether they're going to use their brain or not, right? So if we have that question as a coach or facilitator, we could have a question to ask them back whether they really, practice the critical thinking or not, or analyzing skill or not, which sometimes it doesn't need to practice that skill with mathematics subject. It can also practice it with the problem-based learning or project-based learning. So to me, it's very important when we have the questions whether they learn or not. As a coach and mentor, we should come up with the right questions. So that's why the mindset of coaching need to always be there in the classroom. That's what I would say. And the freedom of learning can only come when we allow the student to have that freedom of learning. And I give one example. We have this micro school, and we're using AI and gamification for mathematics class. The first class, the student all say, I hate math, right?
They find maths creepy,
Yes.
and maths teacher
Yes.
also creepy. I know
Yes.
that. I've heard
But
a lot.
to me, nobody hate learnings. If we hate learning, we wouldn't find along the way here to just learn from each other. But the thing is, the approach that you use and the tools that you use might not fit. So that's why when you have the right tools, the right approach, nobody gonna hate learning. Because right now, everybody just go into their own corners, go into their own applications and learning math, and according to their levels, which reduce the competitions as well. They just learn on their own speed, and nobody complain anymore. We have been running school for a semester, and then nobody complain that they hate math anymore. It just a proof that nobody hate learnings. They just hate the approach that you push to them. So we just need to bring the right approach to to the classroom. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely correct. Okay, with this we end the session. Any question from
Maybe
the
you want to
audience?
say something as well for the key takeaway.
Amazing. No, I really loved all of you. I mean, all the answers given by all of you. Very good. It was very, very insightful for me. And yeah.
There's a question.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Please come. What's your good name?
I'm Marcus, thank you. Great session, and it inspired me very much. And this may sound more provocative because I agree 80 to 90% with you, but still I want to phrase it that way. So you talked about gamification revolutionizing the way we teach. And I'm an Amiga child in the 90s, and I love this stuff and dream about digitally gamified education ever since. However, when I think about it, isn't that just fast food? And we are picking people up where they are, like young students, and they are used to fast food. We give them more fast food, and they'll end up fat without really having a good physical body / our brain. So what's the next step after we've done Kahoot, after we have done the gamification, these quick rewards, bling, 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 and then?
That's a very good question, and especially kids like us who grew up in the 90s, we are a bit skeptical. But if you think about it, if you look at people who grew up in the 60s, when we were growing up, our learning style was a bit too relaxed. We were using calculators. How will these kids do anything in life? But look what's happening now. The world, the humanity, the point it has reached now in terms of mental development, because of the tech, AI, it has not ever achieved this kind of development before.
I can still do 2 times 2.
I'm sure those kids can do that too.
Yes, what you mentioned is probably the fear that we all have, growing in the 90s. And I look back, and I was from a family that was very traditional in the education, and I had friends that were in front of the computer all the time. We had a computer to share amongst me and my siblings, and we had specific times that we were allowed on the screen. And my friends were sitting on the screen, and they were so quick, if it was games, if it was anything that they're learning. And I look back and I'm thinking, these guys are now the top developers. They developed all the technologies that we know today is those kids that were sitting in front of the screen. I'm not saying it was all good. I'm not saying it's good for their mental health, eyes even, looking at the screen. But we need to realize that we cannot say, oh, it's so dangerous because we don't know how to deal with that, and are we just giving them more fast food? We need to realize that the world is changing and changing faster than ever before. And if we want to educate the kids and not the kids educating us, we need to keep up with the technology and their interest and their speed of thinking. So I agree with you. We need to be very careful. One of the things that we did not mention here enough is the danger in AI and the danger of technology. And this is where the responsibility comes when we use it, because we need to guide the students, especially in the younger years,
Agreed.
of how to use it, for what to use it. Maybe the moderation, like you said, this lesson we're taking away the calculation.
This applies to us also, I think, as an adult also. I think
Correct.
we should be very, very... There was a gimmick thing where you have to just upload your pictures and something was there, and it gives you a different avatar and different, this thing. But yeah, one should
the
be
idea is, and it's true, because we sin in that all the time. We can be on our phones the whole time. We're not interacting the way we should. So everyone has to be very mindful of it, but not ignore it. So definitely embrace it in the right way, use it to enhance the way of learning, and definitely always, always have that conversation. This time I want you to be creative without it. Try and do it without it, but really not ignore it. That's the main point.
Yeah,
Perfect.
if I can add a little bit more. And that is why IDP become significant than ever before. Individual development plans, right? We set up a goal of learning and individual development, because not everyone need the same thing, right? Some students, they're talented in, if we use his tools, so they might want to go technology. Some of them might want to go language, arts and science. So when we go eat, right, we have preference menu, and now also we have the nutrition niche to just say what we should eat to make sure we become healthy. Or when you go to tailor, you tell them what suits you, so then they tailor-made your clothes, right? And education is just the same. When it's come to tailor-made, you don't need to worry about you bring the right quality to that person or not, because you just bring the right fit to them. So it will solve that issue. That's my perspective. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the
Thank
question.
you so much for the question. Anyone else from the audience? All right, I think
Is it fun?
we should wrap the session then, wrap up the session. I really want to thank you all once again. And can we please get up and take a
Yes, sure.
picture?
Thank you.
Fantastic. Let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
What a fantastic way to end our 3-day conference. So please stand in front of the table.